sometimes these music transitions are terrible when it goes from one song to the next. They just don't flow well. How we doing tonight? Good to see you. Hilly? Is tonight a night where you're going to be on for a few minutes and then you got to drive home? Is that what we're dealing with? Real good. Uh-oh, did you get a raise yourself? Actually here today. Oh, I got you. Wait a minute, you're at my door? No, I'm just kidding. Dude, that'd be creepy. That'd be really creepy. I got kids. I will protect them. I got a wife. I will protect her. Oh, man. So, dude, I'm telling you, it'd be great to have a other window behind my monitor screen. Golly. Scare me. So let me turn this music down. I realize it's still bopping and blasting. So, because I gotta also check in my ear, because my ear, it's really oh, that's the wrong one. No wonder. There we go. Okay. How loud is that? Is that good? Good music level, I think. Dude, this this song needed to play last night. It's a song called Workshop. Anyway, so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, good as background music? Perfect. Perfect. This is some quirky background music, but I'll take it. Gosh, I don't know why that affects my eyes. It like goes to give me a headache when I have this key light up at 3. Here it's at 2, but I feel like it's not bright enough. Tell me, am I tripping or are we good? Boom 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 boom. Why do I feel like I'm in a different? I don't know. Something feels off. No, my chair's all the way up. I don't know. Something feels off, and I don't know what it is. Boom, 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 boom. Man, this makes you want to like scat. Weedy weedy woo. I'm just kidding. Oh man. So tonight though, gonna be talking a little bit about. I've been doing it. Marking these streams kind of like episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, just so I can keep track of them. But we are kind of moving in a direction here that makes sense. And we've been talking here on Tuesday nights about basically we've been setting ourselves up for what I'm calling the Foundation series. Look like a person waiting for the detective in his office. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful song, but DMCA. Actually, I gotta... Fuego Balier. All right. So here's the question. Here's the question. Actually, I thought about I'd be okay with a little bit of a pivot tonight. Here at the beginning, I do want to talk about a couple things with this Building the Foundation series idea, and one of those will be I do kind of want to reshoot 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, what I focused on was kind of building a why these labs, why creator labs, why are we getting started with this? You know, the building blocks of what did I call it? Budget Budget Creator Labs. Oh, no. Golly, the building blocks of Shoestring Studio. That's what, for some reason, my mind just kind of blanked. This music is like like I like it, but it's like for some reason distracted my mind. And so I do have a couple things I want to focus on that, and I'll kind of lay out kind of the agenda for the night. But I thought maybe one of the things, Hilly, if you want to help me with, is I know that my focus on Mondays is about extensions and such. I just want to figure out I want to make sure my audio is working, because for some reason I don't hear like my audio if like somebody does like blurb or something like that. I don't hear it, and it annoys me massively, especially if you guys are trying to do something like, jump scare me. So, and Hilly, I know you weren't able to be here last night, but we did talk a little bit about different extensions, watched through some YouTube videos to get some ideas from different people, and I got a whole list of them for us to start working through and figuring out what we want to use and what would be best to be able to use on Twitch for us, for my community and my streams. But one of them, I thought it was interesting. There's a series of them by Dixper, and Dixper, and there's like jump scares one, there's memes one and stuff, and there's like 3 different ones that have their each application, but they're all from the same thing, so it has like a unified look to it and everything. So that's something I was just like, man, I might look into something like that. But anyway, that was a side route. But what? Yeah. See, like right there. First of all, let's freaking go. Two months, my man. You're getting started on a journey. The journey has just begun. Enjoy your little bronze elk shield there, your bronze delk shield there at the front of your name. It's you're growing. It's very small in picture because it's just a little shield, but it's got more and more of the beard starting to grow out, as well as you've got some got a rack starting to form on top. So the more months that go, the more mature your delk shield becomes. But listen, thank you so much for that, man. I truly appreciate it. Here's one of the things, and actually I can use what you just did. Phenomenal. I truly do appreciate that, man. One of the things we can actually use that to help us test out is, let me go to my Stream Elements dashboard, because that was a Stream Elements alert. I couldn't hear it, but it showed on my screen here. You know what I feel like I need to do? Well, let me finish my thought. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up over here with my activity feed, so that way I can replay it after I try 1 or 2 things. Yep, replay activity. Sweet, that's an option. So what I'm first going to do, a good journey I'm here for. Let's go. What I should do, though, is I should go here on OBS. I'm going here to File Settings. And let me see here. Let me pull this over here so I can see it. Let me go. I'm going to go to Audio. And it says my mic, obviously right here. It says mic 2 is voice meter output. Okay, so the output from voice meter. Okay, so this is how I have this is the pathway I have set up. I got to talk this out so I remember, okay? And anybody else, maybe this is something that'll prep me for being able to talk through for somebody using voice meter potato, voice meter banana in the future when I talk about like free tools and sort resources and stuff like that. But specific to this, you have I have all of my audio from my desktop. Anything that would be playing through my desktop, I have that play into my digital soundboard, okay? And which is voice meter potato for me. And then anything that I mix together in there, whether it's sent in through cable or sent specifically through the digital inputs into that supposed thing, that digital board, it sends out from there. And so what I'm finding here, Wait, no, I might have this backwards. This is what I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand, why is that set up as a mic? Because what I feel like it's doing, if I change that, I feel like my music should disappear. If I'm understanding this correctly, I feel like that should disappear. So I'm just going to hit disabled and then see what happens. Can you guys still hear the music? Yeah, you can. So that's not right. I don't even know what that is then. Oh, you know what? I didn't hit apply. Let me hit disable and then hit apply. Now can you hear it? It should have disappeared. And now it should be back. Is it back? Are we back? Oh. Sorry. Okay, and we go to advanced properties. I should be able to drop that anywhere I want to. So right now I've got that at like -2 or -5. I'm just gonna keep it at that, I guess. I just know it gets really loud. Close. Now it's back. Okay, so I've got that in the right spot. So the audio that goes into Voicemeeter Potato, it comes out through a specific slot that I have, that I can rename back to what I had it as. Voice meter. I'm just gonna put voice meter output. And that's telling me that anything I see on that bar jumping up and down, audio bar, is coming from what's coming out of Voicemeeter. Okay, so if I replay, let me try and replay and see if anything happens. Do you guys hear? You guys do hear that? I did not hear that. See, that is the problem. So the way that I have Blurp, Stream Elements, alerts, Twitch alerts, viewer attack, any of those, the way that I have any of those set up, I have them set up as volume able to be controlled in OBS, which I like, because then right here in front of me, I can see the green bars and I can control the sound levels as I see them pop off. That one showed it as almost up into the yellow, like loud. How loud did that sound? Was that pretty loud, chat, when that played? It was. Okay. So the thing I've got to figure out is, why am I not hearing that? Why am I not hearing it? So my mind is thinking through a couple things. One, the main thing would be if I turned on the monitoring without Voicemeeter Potato. If I turned on the monitoring for the sound in my headphones from OBS when it plays, the default, like whatever's playing into the desktop would play into my headphones because it's monitored. But because I have that going into a digital sound board, if I do the monitor, which I'll try, I'm going to try it just to cross it off the list, right? Work through it, cross it off the list. If I change that to monitor and output, it already is. It already is monitor and output. Okay. But I didn't hear it. That's what I don't get. So that tells me that there is an issue, because if all sound, if music is playing into Voicemeeter Potato, yeah, they are. I think it's on slow mode. Or I think there's a certain. Wait, are you on mobile? If you're on mobile, then it goes slower. But otherwise, I feel like it's on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I'm looking at the settings here, and I don't see anything about it being like slowed. Turn on shield mode. I'm just kidding. Oh, okay, so so what's out of the picture then is I have sound coming, like the music, for example. Well, I can hear that music is coming from the application through a specific line, digital line. I have it going into Voicemeeter Potato, and then I have that sending out the proper channels to where I can hear it in my headphones. Okay, and I can control that differently from what you guys hear, which I feel like I don't like that. I want to be able to hear how you guys hear it, and then yeah, that's what I think I'd like to hear. Yeah, but I can't, or at least I don't know how. I might have to look more into it. So what I've got to figure out though is like, where does the sound right now is not going into it's not going into Voicemeeter, and that's the problem. That I think is the problem. I don't have the proper digital cable connected to then be hearing it. So I just changed something. Let me try it again. We're going to try and replay it and see what happens. Still nothing. Still nothing. Okay. So let me look here at the properties of this. What I need to figure out is how do I get OBS sound alerts through Voicemeeter Potato? Let's just see what comes up. To route OBS sound alerts through Voicemeeter, you'll need to configure Voicemeeter Potato to capture the alert audio and then select the appropriate Voicemeeter output as your OBS. Yeah, I understand that. How do I do it? So identify the alert audio source. Determine which application or software is producing. Yes, okay, I have that. Windows sound settings. So you want to go to the sound settings. Okay, we can quit that so it's not jumping and pulling more of my PC. All right, so sound settings. Boom. These are the ear trumpet settings. Okay. These are shortcuts. This took me to ear trumpet. Let me just do this. Yeah, this is ear trumpet. Oh, it's because I got to go over here. Haha. Sound settings. Boom. Okay. So we got Voicemeeter input is where the sound plays to. The output of my system plays to the input of the Voicemeeter. So it's like it's playing out of the computer into a soundboard, which is digital. Okay, that makes sense. I've got that set up. But what I need to figure out is choose a device for speaking. That's input. That's what I have my aux output. Yes. Okay. All right. Let's make this smaller here. So route the alert audio to Voicemeeter. App volume and device preferences. Okay, so let's just do this. Let's put this over here. There, we can do the double split like this. And then, so we've got then, what did it say? App volume and device preferences. Did I miss that somewhere? let's do this so I'm not scrolling the whole time. Boom. Okay, why is this at 86? Why not at 100? And then, did that change how loud that is? Let me just do this. That didn't change anything for you guys, right? Let's just put it at 100. I don't know why that's... And then I can control individually by other stuff. Okay, so app volume. Where's that at? More sound settings. These are not what I'm looking for. These ones are. Maybe because these are virtual inputs. See, so like my internet, if I played sound on the internet, like say I went to here, I unmuted me. Like say I went to here, I unmuted me. See? Okay. That would do it. In fact, it did it. And that was coming through the cable input. I'll move it over here while I do it, so that way it coming through the cable input. It should Interesting. It doesn't show the volume level. Interesting. It doesn't show the volume level. Because it should. Right there. Oh, that's for playback. Right there. Interesting. Oh, that's for playback. Interesting. Okay. Okay, that was interesting. So the problem here though is volume mixer. The output device of this is the cable A. No. So the input, if it's coming out of OBS, it should be... I get confused by how the output input stuff is worded. Input device is your microphone. Output is your listening. So input device would be how it's getting its sound. So what if I change this one over to the cable? Cable A output, cable A input. And now I went back and I replayed this. Nope, I'm still not hearing it. Why you not do this? I'm gonna do it one more time. Nothing. So something's wrong with how this sets up. Because my output, I want it to place it into... What about voice? What about this one? What if I did it like that? And then I did it. I'm sorry I keep replaying this one, but it's not doing it. See, here's the problem. You guys can't, but it's supposed to be playing it through here, one that I have set up as extensions and alerts, right? And I have it set up with cable A output. But when I play it, it doesn't show anything happening. Maybe I have to restart something or whatever to get... No, because I can switch these and they catch on. So I have no clue. This is the problem I'm in, is I don't know how that works any further. As to why... Let me go back. Maybe I missed something on there. For the application producing the alerts, choose the voice meter aux output as the output device. Aux output. Okay. I had the the VIO one because that's the same one as OBS. All right. So let's I might have just had the wrong port. Come on, please just work, and then we're done with this. Nope, nothing. Oh, I forgot to look over here and see if it was even... I'm going to turn it down some so it's not blasting every time I do it. But I'm going to look over here at my soundboard and see if it's doing what it's supposed to. Nope. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Man, we got a lot of people subbing tonight. Let's go. Voice meter potato configuration. Select input. Select the appropriate input channels. A1, A2. Yep. Select output. Choose the desired output channel, B1, B2, for the alerts to be routed to OBS. Okay. Do I need to do something like that? All right. It's going to play again. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Still nothing. Yep, still nothing there. Okay, we're working at this, though. Add an audio source in OBS. Add a new audio source, like audio input capture. And then in the audio source settings, select a voice meter aux output as the input device. See, but that's what I already have for the music. I don't want the voice meter aux. I want cable A. That's what I'm doing different here. Cable A. And then it should be... I don't want voice meter aux. I think that's where I want cable A output. But then my output device needs to be the cable A input. Which then, can I make that? How do I change that on OBS? In the audio source settings, select... Okay, so is it audio source as in specific to that? No, that's talking about all of OBS. I have to go File, Settings, and then I got to go to Audio, right? This is Devices. Even the monitoring device is the cable A input. Maybe that's the problem this whole time. Is that my monitoring was set up as cable A. Did we just fix this? No, I got a little too excited. We gonna figure it out, though. Let me see here. Do I have monitoring and output? Yeah, monitor and output. Okay. File settings. So that was, though, for... my monitoring device is my headphones. I just set that up. That's what I want. And then for my mic, man, I'm so confused. Okay, here's an example. The alert source is Streamlabs alerts. Voice meter input is a 1 for Streamlabs alerts. Voice meter output is B1 for OBS. Where's B1? Okay. I might just have to move on from this tonight. Or are we committed? Am I committed to just trying to make sure that this works so we have the audio?
What's going on, guys? Are you having trouble using
Yes, I'm having trouble.
voice meter for your stream over on Twitch or Mixer? In today's video, I'm going to show
Mixer.
you my streaming setup for Voice Meter Potato.
Okay, let's see what this guy's
Windows
got.
icon and open up your settings. We're going to go to System Settings, and we want to go down to Sound. Now we're going to go over to the right, and we're going to go to Control Panel. Once that opens up, it's going to look like this.
All right.
We're going to scroll
I got to
down.
slow this man down. I got to slow him down. In fact, I need to check and make sure that the playback is on normal. It is. This is going fast. All right, here we go.
You're going to go down to the Windows icon and open up your settings. We're going to go to System Settings, and we want to go down to Sound.
Sound?
Now we're going to go over to the right. And
This is on Windows 10. I'm on Windows 11. We'll try our best.
Once that opens up, it's going to look like this.
Okay.
We're going to scroll down, and we want to go to Voice Meter Input. Now we want to set that as both our default device and our default communications device. All right. After we've done that, we're going to head over to the Recordings tab. We're going to scroll down again, and we are going to set Voice Meter Output as the same thing.
Okay, I already got that. We're not looking at that. We're not looking at that.
Default communication device. Voice Meter, and in Voice Meter, we're going to go up to the top, Q and Effects.
All right. He's setting everything up.
Other impression. So you have is you're gonna add the default capture, and then we're gonna that we talked about right here, the Voice Meter VIO, able to do with this virtual cable. Now what we're gonna do is go to Hardware Input 2, and we want to set that to our cable output.
Okay.
We can right click and name this one
Okay, that's what he's doing with that. Discord.
Is I separate my Google Chrome browser audio from all of the other audio coming out of my device. The reason that I do this is that sometimes I listen to YouTube videos. It will allow me to separate that audio and play it on and off stream, as well as control that volume specifically without the need of a virtual cable. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go and we're gonna set our Google Chrome audio, which you can see right here. We're gonna set it to VIO 3. That way it'll come through.
Okay, this isn't, he's not doing what I need to do. I just thought of something though here. What are these? What's this? Oh, that's OBS browser page. Does that need to be placed somewhere? Voice meter input. Oh, it's already there. I do not understand. I feel like the pieces are set up for this. OBS also playing into my headphones. I don't hear it though, so I don't understand. It says that the audio is going from the OBS browser source, from OBS, into voice meter input, but nothing ever shows up. And then it says that OBS is also playing. Now it shows it playing into. Oh my goodness, this is so frustrating. It's playing into cable A, but then it's right here also playing into my headphones. So I'm so confused. All right, so just for playback, I want to put it in my headphones just to see what would happen. Okay, that video really didn't do much for me. Let's just see here. You'll never guess. I can't hear it. See, this is the thing that's really frustrating. Is like, because I have it set up here. The OBS browser is set up here to play. So it should play here, or if I can get it to the extension specifically, the alert specifically to play through here, it should play through here. But nothing comes through. Nothing comes through. Let me go check my settings again. Audio settings. Desktop audio. It's at default. I wonder if I change that to voice meter input. Why not? Let's just see. And then let me try and play music again. Is that going to still be working? Yeah, that's still working fine. Still can't hear that. This is ridiculous, man. This should not be this hard. This should not be this hard. All right, just go back to default on that. Oh, wait a minute. Should I make that also, no. Which one was that? It is on voice meter VIO, not VIO 3, but voice meter VAIO. That's just the output. Yep. That's what my I don't know. I don't know if that added what I wanted it to. Oh, that just added another desktop audio. I doubt that's going to do anything I need it to now. Oop. Let's try it one more time. Nope. Ridiculous. This is brutal. I gotta delete that then. There we go. Now it's gone. Chat, I really have no clue. No clue. Try it again. I just tried something different. Nope. Let me try this on voice meter output. Let's just see what happens when I do it like that. Here it comes again. Turn it down. No, that's not it. Oh, you know what? This whole time, can I not do it to my headphones because my headphones are being engaged by the... I don't know. We'll try it. Nope. Okay, that didn't do anything. That didn't do anything. Okay, I gotta stop that tonight. I can't. I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna get angry because nothing is working the way I want it to. Oh, whoa! I just knocked a bunch of stuff. See, that's what I mean. Get angry, and that's what happens. Golly. Anyway, that was probably an unfavorable 45 minutes. And nothing was established. Like, I didn't solve anything. That's the most aggravating part of dealing with certain tech pieces like that, is when you spend so much time of the limited time that you have and you got nowhere. So frustrating. Let me see here, though. I wanted to try and reshoot my, like, the other week when I went to record the Y Budget Labs, Y Shoestring Studio kind of thing, the first start to that, I wanted to have a, I wanted to redo it because there was a lot of eye contact was into the screen underneath. And, like, I don't have a, whatever it's called, teleprompter. And so what I need to do is redo it, and try to remember some pieces and say it to the camera and then stop, and then read the next piece and then say it to the camera and stop, and such, and then those will just need edited together, I guess. I don't know. We can try it out and see how it works. What say you? What say you? It's not as fun when it does that. Ugh, that transition. It's more fun when you're just like, you know what I mean? It's a lot more fun that way. Bro, I just saw it back in the replay video and it looked so good. So crisp and quick. That was great. Oh, I absolutely love that when it works. When it works the way I want it to. But anyway, I'm going to go to this one here. Am I? Now this scene does not have any capabilities on it. It doesn't have any what's the word called? It doesn't have any like extensions or anything on it. So just a warning, if you try to do anything, this is specifically for recording, so there's nothing else on it. I want to try and position myself. My stinking, oh, it's because it's up. My stinking armrests kicking at me here. I just don't. Yeah. Anyway, so let's just see what happens here. This first part, I'm going to read it out loud and then try to said, what if I told you it was possible to begin building a house without a single brick? Sounds crazy, right? You're probably thinking, how can you even build a house without bricks? I don't think I like how I wrote that. Yeah, how can you even build a house without bricks? After saying, is it possible to begin building a house without a single brick? It just seems so repetitive. Anyway, what if I told you the most successful homes get built before a single brick is laid? All right, I'm gonna hit a marker on the stream here so it tells me where it is. All right, and we're gonna go like this. Yeah. Man, this is gonna be terrible. Because you have to like semi-memorize and stuff, and to do that quickly at 10:23 at night is not. Ugh. What if I told you? Nope. See, already my mind goes blank. What if I told you it was possible to begin building a house without a single? What if I told you that it was possible to begin building? Yeah, that's important. That's imperative. What if I told you that it would? Oh my goodness, this is brutal. This is why I need a teleprompter. Oh man, this is so bad. All right, what if I moved this over here and I tried to like get this as close up there as possible to right underneath of the... What if I told you that it was possible to begin... All right. What if I told you that it was possible to begin building a house without even laying a brick? That wasn't too bad. All right. That's the intro. There we go. Sounds crazy, right? You're probably thinking, how in the world are you going to build a house without any bricks? All right. But what if I told you that most successful homes get built before a single brick is even laid? All right. There we go. That's kind of the intro, like, hook. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then as I've interacted with content creation for the last 5 years, I've seen different types of creators. Ones who built their house with lumber and bricks already there for them. Creators who claim to provide a blueprint for building a house on a budget while defining something that's not a budget. And then creators who never get started because they're stuck never having the means, what they believe are the means, to buy any kind of home. All right, we'll try to do this. All right, let's just give it a shot. As I've interacted with content creation over the past 5 years, I've noticed a couple different kinds of creators. There's creators who built their house because there was already lumber there for them. I mentioned bricks. I got to connect that back. Okay, I got to restart that one. There's creators who built their house with a yard of lumber and bricks already there for them to use. There's creators who have... Why can I not remember more than I'm a stinking goldfish, Ted Lasso. I'm a goldfish. Anyway, creators who built their house with... Oh my goodness. There's creators who built their house with a yard full of lumber and bricks already there for them. Then there's the creators who have built... Okay, wait. Then there's the creators who claim to have a blueprint. Wow. Somebody cut this up for some for a gag reel. Anyway. Then there's creators who claim to provide a blueprint for building a house on a budget, but they don't share a realistic budget. I got to redo that one. That was not good. Then there's creators who claim to provide a blueprint for building a house on a budget while defining an unrealistic budget. Golly. Then there's creators who claimed... Oh my goodness. I might not be able to do this, Hilly. I might not be able to do... This is brutally bad. Oh. Then there's creators who claim to provide a blueprint for how to build a house on a budget while providing an unrealistic understanding of a budget. That was pretty decent. I'll go with that. I wanted while defining an unrealistic budget, but we'll go with that. Defining, we'll go with it. And then there's creators who never even get started because they don't have what they think are the means to go anywhere with the idea of building a house. That was a long-winded version of what I had there. And that's where in my mind, I kind of see the video kind of like zooming in a little bit to me, saying like, you might be that third kind of creator, you know, that's kind of thing, or struggling with the thought. You might be that third creator, or struggling with the thought of walking out on the hope you had of creating content. You might be that third type of creator. You might be that third type of creator, or struggling right now with the idea of walking out on that hope you had of doing something with content. Did I look down too soon? I feel like I looked down really soon. You might be that third creator, or struggling right now even with the idea of walking out on the hope you had of creating content. You're the reason budget Creator Labs on Tuesdays on Twitch. Well, that's a mouthful. You're the reason why Budget Creator Labs exist on Twitch Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And then I wanted to tag, and Shoestring Studio is getting started. That's a lot to put in one. You're the reason. You're the reason Shoestring Studios is getting started with Budget Creator Labs on Tuesday nights on Twitch. I might just end that like that. I might just do that like that. I don't know. You're the reason Shoestring Studios is getting started and why Budget Creator Labs exist. You're the reason why Shoestring Studio is getting started and why Budget Creator Labs exist on Tuesday nights on Twitch, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, so we got through the first quarter of it. Actually, that might be third to half. This next part, when I first started into content, specifically when I first started into content creation, I felt constantly held back by my shoestring budget and didn't think I could do it, despite having a passion and a vision for what I wanted to create. Actually, I kind of want to delete that. I don't know. When I first started into creating content, especially through streaming, when I first got started in content creation, especially in streaming, golly, I felt constantly held back. I feel constantly held back by a script. That's what I do. Anyway, when I first started into content creation, especially through streaming, I constantly felt held back by my shoestring budget and the inability I had to be able to get the things I thought I needed to get started. I didn't have a camera. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have any of the supposed necessary things you were supposed to have. I just had a controller and a dream. All right, we're going through this piece at a time. I think we're moving, and then there's going to be a lot of edit jumps in this because I can't do this straight through without being able to go da 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 da, looking right there. It's that exact experience, those same frustrations that motivated me to help that motivate me to help young creators like you get started. Whether you're aiming for a hobby, a job, a ministry, whatever your reason. Wait, I might delete that out too. Just say it's that exact experience, those same frustrations that motivate me to help young creators like you get started. Shoestring budget, perfect. There we go. All right. It's that exact experience, those same same frustrations that motivate me. Golly. It's that exact experience, those same frustrations that motivate me to help someone like you get started. Help young creators like you, because I got to emphasize my audience. Anyway, it's that exact experience, those same frustrations that motivate me to help young creators like you get started. Oh my goodness. I can't even say the word shoestring budget without fumbling. Shoestring budget, perfect. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that tone. Shoestring budget, perfect. I don't know how the light's reflecting in my glasses either. I just can't lift up like here. Shoestring budget, perfect. Now, earlier I didn't mention a fourth kind of creator. These are creators. Oh, wait, I got to read. Creators who start with what they have and who they are. These are creators who start with what they have and who they are. Creators like me. All right, and then you don't need the bells and the whistles. You need drive, vision, and the belief that you already have the foundation to build your house, your content, your platform, your future starting right now. That's a large, I don't know, see what we can do with that. You don't need the bells and the whistles. You need drive, you need vision, and the belief that you already have the foundation to build the house. Your content, your platform, your future, starting now. I think that was decent enough. If my eyes flick once or twice, oh well, people realize. All right. And this is being cut for YouTube, so I'm going to say it specifically in that way. But like, here on YouTube, I'm going to work with you to build your house, from blueprint to plot to first bricks. Let's get building. And then I can end it out with something like, "Hey, if you want to be a part of Conversations Live, join me on Tuesday nights." You know, that kind of thing. I'll finish after this, but from blueprint to plot to first bricks, let's get building. There we go. Here on YouTube, I'm going to work with you to help you build your house from blueprint to plot to first brick. Let's get building. I'm live with conversations about this every Tuesday night on Twitch from 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time until 10:30. I got to rethink how I want to say that. These conversations happen live on Tuesday nights during the Budget Creator Labs. I don't want to. If I say during Budget Creator Labs, 9:30 on Twitch, like I feel like I'm expanding it so much. I need to be shorter with it. Be part of the live conversation on Tuesday nights, Budget Creator Labs, 9:30 Eastern Time. I didn't say where. How are they supposed to know? Golly. Be a part of live conversations on Twitch. I gotta say twitch.tv/Delkery. You gotta say it. Be a part of live conversations like this. Oh my goodness, I already said live. Be a part of these live conversations, twitch.tv/live. Golly. Be a part of these conversations live, twitch.tv/Delkery, Tuesday nights during Budget Creator Labs, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope to see you there. All right, that's it. I'm going to put a bookend marker on that. How long did that take me to work on? Golly, maybe it felt longer than it actually was. What do you think? But that is a short one. Like, I can't do that with every single video because like my What's Your Why script, the first one, well, it's not going to be the first one because that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight, but got caught up trying to figure out the audio stuff. Is actually last week I talked about and is planning out some of the like What's Your Why and the focusing on your why as the second video in this foundation series. It's not. That'd be number 3. Number 2 is expectations and mindset. That's what I'm going to focus on in a second video. So the introduction of why these budget labs exist, why Reshooting Studio is getting started, those kind of things, but also then video 2 is going to be about expectations and mindset. I'm going to turn the music back on because it got quiet in here. And then the third one, actually, we can go back over to my main. I'm just going to cut over to it. There's focusing on expectations and mindset, and then video 3 will be focusing on about finding your why, and then that will lead into a bang 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 of looking at finding your why. Okay, now establishing a niche, authenticity in your content, and consistency, and then from there I'm gonna end out the this foundation series, I think, with prevention in the way of like what are some common mistakes that you need to avoid, and then namely don't buy a bunch of stuff, right? And then I think I'll bookend it as a transition piece, one that will be at the end of this playlist, this series that I'm creating, but also number 1 in the future series that I'll be creating as well, which is like, what is the toolkit? Like, what are the first practical steps? What is the base toolkit that you need to have on your belt? And I think that'll be my transition from going between the foundation series into an actual practical piece of different things. So, and then the Band-Aid gets ripped off and everything is possible. What do we think, Hilly? You're the only one here right now, so what do you think? Seem like a good direction? So basically, this first series plan then is going to have this intro video, which isn't really a part of the series as much as an introduction to the channel. So maybe it wouldn't be a channel. Well, if for Shoestring Budget, maybe it is a channel trailer kind of thing on YouTube. I don't know, but the idea would be number one in this series, and it's like what it's going to be like 60 seconds. But then going through expectations and mindset, what's your why, finding your niche, being authentic in your content, creating consistency, common mistakes and preventing yourself from making those mistakes, and then here's your base toolkit to get started kind of thing. Like those 7, I feel like that's a good grouping of videos for me to just begin working through here on Tuesday nights, because that's really, I think, what I'm going to do on Tuesday nights. It's going to be open forum, an opportunity for people to have conversations, which outside of the normal people who have been around like yourself, I don't expect a lot of that right now, because that kind of thing will take off. The goal would be for that to take off as I have some of this stuff created. You know what I'm saying? So then it would be able to expand and have Q&A opportunities, as well as just people, like, they've seen a piece of one of these videos and they come into the live and are able to ask questions about, like, what I can ask engagement questions about, like, what tools, I actually had engagement questions that I forgot to share tonight, but I'll save them for next week, I guess. But the idea of where they at? The idea of, like, how do you stay motivated when things feel like they're not going anywhere? Stuff like that. That's a meaningful question, as well as specific to creating content, right? Or what topics would you think you'd expect to see covered in a beginner-friendly content creator series? That was going to be one of the questions for tonight, and then as I'm talking about this, people were able to do. Anyway, so that's kind of the direction with this, and hopefully this is beneficial to somebody. It's not intended. I'm not pretending to be an expert. What I'm being is I'm sharing from my own experience and from research that I have done that I know a lot of people haven't. And I'm just sharing it, and hopefully it's beneficial, as well as just logic. Like, hey, a lot of people want to jump in first to the right tools and the right things like this. You're starting off wrong. You need to focus on this, and things like that. And we'll get to that, and actually getting to places where I can be like, yeah, hey, let's talk about what free insert needed tool or something like that. Look at these 5 software or something like that, and we'll talk about it, and we'll work through creating scripts, building those videos on Tuesday nights, I think, alongside of having conversations and stuff. I'd like to have it more split up, to where, and not be so ADHD, which I won't be as much when if audio is working for me, it won't distract me from from things, because it'll be working. But the idea then in the future, we'll have, okay, these first 5 to 10 minutes is just connecting, hanging out. These next 20 minutes is about, okay, here's a focal thing, whether it's a focal topic I'm discussing live, or it's I'm recording this script, or it's writing a script, or it's doing the editing for a thumbnail or something like that. Like, I can do those on Tuesday nights, and that helps those projects to actually be happening, and for this foundation series idea and Shoestring Studio to actually get feet underneath of it and move forward. Because if I wasn't doing it on Tuesday nights, guess what? The reality of me actually doing it, because when I do it when I'm streaming, I feel like there's at least, and Hilly, maybe you can help be this for me in this. I ask this of different people who I know have interest in certain things, and that is accountability. Accountability to, like I said, I'm going to do this, right? I have a buddy of mine who's doing that with me as he can. Right now he's in a really busy season, but I can connect with about my book that I'm writing. and he can check in and he can give me thoughts, and he can be like, hey man, how's it going with this? And it keeps me excited and moving with that. And then the same with, I know like M2K in the community was doing that actually with like Cleats Off the Couch and trying to ask, like check in with me about stuff with that podcast and such. And I had to kind of veer from that because of focuses. But this, having that same idea, it becomes a focus of what I'm doing with my time while I'm streaming. Like it creates that. It's not just a message me kind of thing, but it's like, hey, I'm live and I said I was going to do this, so guess what? You know what I mean? So I'm excited. I'm excited about this. I hope that this is beneficial, one, to somebody else. Two, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I think that this will be beneficial for a very focused YouTube channel. I'm still questioning, do I just do it on the Del Cree channel and keep building there, and then if it builds, like it becomes a playlist that I have on my channel, and then if it builds into something, that's when I release Shoestring Studio. Maybe I need to stop talking about Shoestring Studio, wait on that, just call it Budget Creator Labs right now, and then that be a big name thing that happens down the line. That might be the way I need to better do this. And then from there, when growth happens on YouTube, you know, I can build it into it. I can make it its own YouTube focus and then really hammer it there. But what I was saying was, I want it to be beneficial to other people, anybody who can take benefit from it. But then also, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to find benefit in this actually being something that creates some growth and movement more on YouTube, and therefore leads towards potential lines of you know, YouTube partner and stuff like that, and then even connecting back here to Twitch, you know. I gotta keep this table cleared off behind me though, my desk. I can't let it build up with books or anything anymore. I've got to do that so that way I can always have it available when we get towards the things about comparing things. It's one thing to do software, obviously I don't have to do that on a desk, but if I want to be like, hey, look at these budget things, if I ever want to go that route of stuff, I don't want to do like reviews and stuff. I'm not a big review kind of guy, but I do know if I'm going this route at some point, I'm going to have to be like, if people are looking at me for advice of budget tools and stuff like that, then I need to be able to show certain things. I need to be able to example certain things. So I do understand that, but that's way down the line. Anyway, my headphones are beeping at me, telling me that they're going to die soon. And it is past the hour. We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes. But I'm hoping that I can cut up what I just recorded and we can get things rolling for the idea of a first video for this. I'm excited. I've really thought about the idea of, like, down the line, I would love to hire an editor so I can just focus on the ideas and the recording, like creating those things, and then have somebody hired to be doing the editing. I really would like to do that, but it just costs too much money. Costs too much money right now. Editors are worth it, in my opinion, and so I'm not somebody who's just like, oh, they want to charge this, that's ludicrous. No, it makes sense, and I just can't afford it. That's where I stand on that right now. So anyway, and it takes up a lot of time that I don't want to spend. I don't have to spend. So if I can knock that off, that'd be beautiful. Be beautiful. Anyway, to y'all, I hope y'all have a great evening. I am not on tomorrow night. Thursday night, guys, I'm still kind of wishy-washy on how I want to do that. I would definitely be live on Twitch at 10:30 on Thursday night. The reason why I say at 10:30 is because there's potential that I will be live on Twitch at 9:30 on Thursday night, but there's also potential that I might go the route that I have been with football. Thursday night football is the focus of Thursdays. Football in general is the focus of Thursdays, and so I may honestly go the route of doing TikTok live at 9:30. And then following up on Twitch after that. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure yet. Like if I haven't made it very clear, I don't have a lot of planning time in my life. So I have to look at it as I can. So, but 10:30 definitely I will be on Twitch. 9:30 is potential. 9:30 is potential. And then on Friday, live here at 9:30. Probably looking at working on a little bit of video editing or something, and then continuing with our game playthrough of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. I actually want to get through that. That's what I'm going to hop off of here and do, Hilly. I'm going to hold myself to it. After I get off here, going to go use the little boy's room. Maybe put the desk up so I'm standing and not sitting so much longer. But I want to cut from this stream. I want to cut out and edit, just cut and splice the video stuff for the first video from tonight for the budget creator piece. And then I also want to go to Friday's stream, and I want to cut out the gameplay through of Brothers: Tale of Two Sons, so that way I can get things moving with. There'll be more editing necessary of the video for budget creator, but for the gameplay through one, that one might not need much of anything, maybe a little intro outro kind of thing. And to get that posted, it'd be great if I could get that done and posted this Friday, and then on this Friday night I play the next part. You know what I'm saying? That'd be the ideal. So I'm gonna try and get to that. Those two videos, I gotta get in on that. All right, ready? Break. Anyway, appreciate you, Hilly. Thank you so much for subbing, coming back to the herd. Appreciate you. To anyone else seeing this, maybe in the VOD, or if you're in the background right now, I appreciate your support. Appreciate you guys being a part of the community, and wish you the best of hump days. And I hope to see you guys Thursday night, 9:30. Keep an eye. I'll be on either TikTok or on Twitch. We'll say it like that. Either one is at Delkery. So until then, guys, happy creating, happy night, happy life, happy living. I don't know what kind of tag to end there, but God bless y'all, and I will see you later. Peace. I'm kind of the opposite of an Irish goodbye. I like to stick around as long as possible instead of just getting out of town. It's a problem. I blame my family, my genes. All right, I'm out.